Let's bring in the Energy Secretary. That would be Mr. Brouillette. Dan Brouillette. Mr. Secretary, thanks very much for joining us. Which is it? What kind of agreement do we have? Is it 10 million barrels a day cut from production, or is it 20 million?
Thank you, Stuart. It's great to be back with you. Look, the president's tweet's absolutely correct. So the agreement that we saw, the historic agreement that we saw over the weekend from OPEC and OPEC Plus is roughly 10 million barrels, but that is in fact only half of the story. There are over 100 countries that produce oil all around the world. And what we will see is production declining over the next few months as the world deals with this COVID-19 pandemic. So when you add up all of the production cuts around the world, we're going to be much closer to 20 million barrels per day coming off the market, which represents roughly 20% of the production just a month or month and a half ago. So it is extraordinary times. This was an extraordinarily complex deal that was struck by OPEC and OPEC Plus members. And we hope that we will see the return of the energy industry very, very quickly.
What you're battling, more than just OPEC Plus, what you're battling is the crash of demand for oil worldwide. I mean, I'm told that there's like 30 million barrels a day not being used. And the price of oil, bearing in mind the president's tweet, is only at $23 a barrel. It's very hard to fight that crashing demand, isn't it?
It is, Stuart, and that's why this deal is so important. When you produce oil, you really only have two options, and that is to use it or to store it. And without the demand signal, because of the pandemic, it leaves storage as the only option. And what we're seeing all across the world is storage capacity is becoming more and more scarce. So it creates a unique challenge. And if you reach the tank tops, what happens next is production begins to shut in. And that creates a challenge for bringing this industry back once these economies turn around.
Now, is the government going to help the drillers and the frackers in North Dakota and Texas and elsewhere? Are you ready, willing, and able to put a floor under their operations with money?
Well, Stuart, what we've done is taken some very aggressive steps to open up things like our Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The president directed me a few weeks ago to open it up, make it available to private industry. We're in the process of filling that up. That alleviates or mitigates some of the initial challenges around storage. But also the Congress and the president have negotiated an incredible package that allows these drillers, allows these energy companies to take advantage of some tax law that will provide liquidity for these industries. First and foremost amongst that is the ability to take losses, to deduct your losses that are incurred this year against your last 5 years of profits. And that's an important tool for this industry to use.
Can you assure the oil industry that it's going to maintain America's energy independence when all this is done?
Yes, I think it will, Stuart. And look, I have to remind you and the viewers, we are in fact in a different position than we were just 10 or 15, 20 years ago, certainly. Imagine if this pandemic had happened in 1973 or 1974, when we were wholly dependent upon nations for the importation of oil. The fact that we are able to produce the amounts that we are able to produce today place the United States of America, place this president in a position of strength in order to bring this deal together.
Energy Secretary Dan Brouillette, thank you very much for joining us, sir. We do appreciate it. Thank you.